Hey, JB here, the morning coach. Excited you're with me today. I got a good one because I wanted to get up this morning and really talk about the time change. Something that drives me nuts as I work with people to help them, gear up their performance, really get that edge to be able to do things that a lot of other people aren't doing. Circadian rhythm is such a big part of that. And we work hard to get that set up. And then we have this time change. So to say that I don't like it, I don't like it, right? Just put it out there. I think it's ridiculous. If we really understood the science, you would understand how it affects the body, especially for high performers like you that are watching this and are looking to achieve. So what are some things we need to do in order to get through this time change and be able to have the energy it takes to really do amazing things without having to use substances? Well, let's talk about it. The first thing I have here is to keep your morning ritual sacred. Obviously, Morning Coach is a big part of that. We're coming up on 6,000 coach casts, so you can plug into our coaching system, listen every morning, get the energy to get your day started. But with that, right before you do that, get some sunlight exposure. I actually have a big lamp. I'm up here in Chicago now, but if I'm in South America at my place, I don't have that issue. But here, I have a big lamp, sun lamp, that I actually have on a timer that goes off first thing in the morning so I can get some artificial sunlight. But we want to seek the sun. We want to get some sun, and then we want to get a consistent morning. You'll hear me say ritual over routine. Why? Because it's very important that you're waking up, getting the right mindset, especially when the time has changed. You're going to have a little bit of a lag there. You're going to have to use the opportunity clock, as Zig Ziglar taught us. A lot of people call it an alarm clock, but it's really an opportunity to live the day. Why anybody would wake up to an alarm, I don't understand it. Why would you want to wake up to an alarm? When I think alarm, I think negative. I want to wake up to an opportunity clock. I'm ready to take on the day, right? So keep your morning ritual. Get up, get that sunlight, get listening to Morning Coach, get your compass out, put that down, write the ideas that we're teaching you every single day and get after it. The second thing you need to do is hydrate early. Really important. Your body needs to get some fluids in you. I'm actually a faster. I don't even eat till 1 o'clock. I run marathons. I qualified for the Boston Marathon. I'm 56 years old, in case you don't know. I'm actually 48 as far as my Whoop device says in biological time. Do a really good job, not crazy stuff, but do a really good job of taking care of myself. And a lot of this has to do with hydration. So I actually don't fuel in the morning. I used to be a big breakfast eater, but I push that back now. I'm almost a 17-7 faster, really finding I have a lot more energy with that. But I'm not going to get into fasting. We'll do another video and discuss that. But what I want you to be thinking about is hydrate early. What does that mean? Well, it could be water and some salt. Really important sodium intake. We're learning more and more about that in the science. LMNT, pretty good product. I do AG1. I'm a big greens fan first thing in the morning. AG1 I think is a little overpriced. I'm not sponsored by them or anything at all, but for the convenience factor, I do like the products. They're sourced well, and so that's what I start off my morning with. I start off my morning with an AG1 in the drink, mix it up with some creatine, glutamine, and then I have some krill oil. That's typically my morning start, and then I'll drink some LMNT and some water as I'm working out. I sauna and cold plunge almost every day, but you want to get hydration, okay? You want to get hydration. The third thing is you want to avoid caffeine after noon because you're going to be resetting this circadian rhythm. You got to watch caffeine. It's got this really long half-life. Now, I don't take a lot of drugs and I consider caffeine a drug. I don't drink alcohol. I don't bring anything in my body that I don't do a lot of research on and do a lot of self-experimentation. I do like caffeine. Caffeine, I feel, gives me that edge. I like it. It gives me a real good feeling. In racing, if I'm on mile 20, I'll take some caffeine. It gives me that push to get through. And I will tell you a little bit about marathons later. I don't know how many I'm going to run because I'm about overall health. And I personally like a half marathon, do a few marathons, but they really hurt me because I'm running it. I'm trying to run a 3:15 to 3:30 marathon at 56, so my heart rate's 150, 160, can peak up to 180 for 3 hours, 3.5 hours. Pretty damaging, right? So for me, I like a half marathon, but not going there again. I do like the caffeine to get me through the tough spots. And there is some time that I do like it. I do like mushroom coffee. I'm going to do a video on that. But I would tell you stay away from caffeine after noon if you're a caffeine drinker. Again, I like caffeine, just be careful, use it wisely. Okay, again, a lot of this, let me tell you this too, very important. If you are somebody that is starting an exercise program or watching my videos, go to your healthcare practitioner. Okay, I'm telling you what I do. These are tips and ideas that I do and I work with my clients. If you have a health issue, make sure you go to your healthcare practitioner. Very important, okay, especially when it comes to caffeine intake, right? Most of this stuff's pretty general, but this one, I said, I like it for me personally. You need to make sure it works for you. Talk to your healthcare practitioner. The next thing is get moving in zone 2. Another area that we're learning a lot about is zone 2 is so good for you. What is that? Zone 2 is the threshold where you basically can talk where you're moving. And I would tell you, if you get up to 30, 40 minutes of this, again, talk to your healthcare practitioner. But zone 2 is magic. It's where you're building your cardio engine. It's where most endurance athletes train 80% of the time. And if you're not an endurance athlete, you don't need to train there 80% of the time. You can talk. It's almost walking, right? If you can get yourself a watch or a heart rate monitor, it's great. And figure out what zone 2 is for yourself. Everybody's different. Again, one of the things when it comes to this, even getting your circadian rhythm right, everybody's different, and we need to make sure that you understand what that is for you. My zone 2 is going to be much lower, meaning my heart rate's able to, because I train, I'm able to get zone 2 and move faster and keep my heart rate down, right? So for me in marathon training, if I'm running for endurance, I want to be able to stay in zone 2 as much as possible to stay at a lactate threshold, not getting into scientific terms. But basically what it does is keep my body in a good state to be able to go long distances. If I'm doing a 100-miler, which I don't do, but if I was, I would stay in zone 2. I can do it forever. Okay, so zone 2, if you just want a quick test, if you're moving and you can talk, you're doing pretty good. If you're huffing and puffing, your heart rate's starting to come up, you're moving into zone 3, zone 4. We're not going to talk about that today. We want to keep you relaxed and moving. So get moving, zone 2, do a little bit of that. I try to do at least 30 minutes to, and you're going to think this is crazy, almost 3 hours of zone 2 a day, depending on what I have going on. Okay, and then we want to start getting our circadian rhythm in place. Go to bed 30 minutes earlier. So start working that time back now so you can start adjusting that. And again, when you wake up, you can wake up a little bit earlier using that opportunity clock. I never even need an opportunity clock. I just wake up. But if you're working, if you're not, you don't have that natural rhythm, then we got to use tools. So we want to get to bed a little earlier. Again, so if you are somebody that is having, health issues or just getting started with this stuff, go to your healthcare practitioner. I'm a big fan of that. I do blood work every 2 months. I'm a huge fan of self-experimentation. I have great doctors, making sure you have the right professionals in your corner. And make sure you have the right professionals that are into understanding performance-related activities, not just a general practitioner. Okay, so you got to be pretty selective about your healthcare practitioners, but make sure you talk to one. And then you want to get your morning ritual in place. You want to work with me, it's great. We've got literally hundreds of people around the world. They wake up every morning with me. We get going over at morningcoach.com. You can find that out. We want to hydrate early. Get some water in you. Again, talk to your healthcare practitioner. If you got blood pressure issues and stuff, I'm not a doctor. I don't even play one here in my coaching or on YouTube. There are issues for some people with salt and, AG1 or whatever. So make sure you check with that. Me personally, I told you, I do AG1, creatine, glutamine, krill oil every single morning. That's me personally, but you need to get hydrated. You want to avoid caffeine after noon. Again, this is something you need to check with you. I personally like caffeine as a performance enhancer. Just realize it is a drug. Caffeine is a drug. I know it sounds like, just a cup of coffee. No, you are intaking something that is changing your body, and your adrenals can get really messed up. And that adrenal flow, the caffeine that's in your body, it can take 8 to 12 hours to get out, so it can disrupt your sleep pattern. So try to stop that before noon. Get moving, zone 2. I love this. Everybody should be doing this. The world would be much healthier if people would start doing a little more zone 2. We want to do that, and we want to get to bed 30 minutes early. Okay, so we got it. Some things to do with this time change that I don't like, but we don't make the rules, right? We just play the game. So we got to play within the rules. And if you want great coaching, great energy, hey, come on over to morningcoach.com. Not only do we have planners and structures for remarkable devices, we have new software. We got great people. We got great community. It's a great way to start your day at Morning Coach. So appreciate you. If you're a member, love you bunches. Been doing this 20 years. Got a lot of people for 20 years. Love you bunches. And we're going to keep putting that energy out there. But let's get through this time change today and get focused on making your life great. Lots of love to you. I'll see you in the next video.